So this was a video that I was going to make a long time ago, but I am just now deciding to make this video. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you also follow my social media. You know, here's my email, like, share, and follow. And for more deep, in-depth content, please become a Patreon today. For only $2.50 a month, you can become an official supporter of Rome Productions, and you can get some very well in-depth content also provided with PDF books and documentaries, and so on and so forth. Last but not least, we finally have some new merchandise out. So that means we got some new shirts, hoodies, and all type of stuff that you can now shop today at Rome Central. Just go in the link below and shop today. But today we're going to be talking about social media platforms in terms of black-owned social media platforms and all this stuff concerning blackouts and stuff like that. So we're getting into this trend, because that's what it is. We're getting into the trend of supporting black-owned businesses. A couple of months ago, there were a lot of black people who were complaining about TikTok, and a lot of black women were saying that we need to create our own platforms because basically TikTok kept taking them off of social media in terms of their particular platform because of things that they would talk about concerning anti-blackness, cultural appropriation, certain things that white people say and do against other black people. So, you know, these particular black people were like, you know, we should come together and create our own platform. Of course, this was a trend and it died immediately, right? Kind of like with everything else, whenever a particular platform or business says something about black people or does something against black people, we immediately riot and boycott them for maybe a good month. I'll give it a month at the most, a good month. Then we go right back to doing the same thing. Same thing with police brutality. A black man or a black woman dies, you know, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, all this other type of stuff. Give it a good month. Then we go back to the same ritual. We go back to the same cycle. So, something that I want to make known, because a lot of people feel like that us as black people should have our own platform. I do not think that at all. And let me explain to you why. Because when people hear that from me, they side-eye me. Right? So, allow me to explain myself. No, I do not feel that black people should not, they should not have a black-owned social media platform that correlates to things like, you know, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for these particular reasons. Because, number one, there's no diversity. Number one. Number two, you have the same rules as Instagram does when it comes to these particular platforms, right? Because you want to be diverse. But you don't have the same, you still have the same rules and the same policies, just in a different manner. It's in vice versa. And then three, your motives are in the wrong place. You don't have the right motives when it comes to creating platforms. But let's deal with number one. Number one is that there is no diversity. What I mean by there is no diversity, I have seen so many black-owned particular platforms that have copied the platforms that they were previously on. You will have people that will say we need to create a black Twitter, and they will create an app that is like Twitter, but is not Twitter. Has a similar platform to Twitter, but you know, every time that you get on, you have to watch an advertisement. Every time that you get on, it crashes, or there's a particular problem with it. And the people who, you know, either invest their time or their money into these particular apps, they be like, well, I can just go back on Twitter, because Twitter actually knows how to operate their particular app. And you know, every time I get on, I don't have to crash. You know, every time I get on it, I can just skip through a particular ad. You know, you can move more smoothly through Twitter rather than, you know, this particular bootleg app, right? Same thing with Instagram. There was this particular man who decided that he was going to create his own particular platform, a black-owned platform, in terms of like a black Instagram. The same platform, login and everything, just like Instagram, but the only difference was the name. If you're going to sell something to people, if you're going to give something for people to invest their time in, it has to be something different. It has to be something diverse. It has to be something with variety. If you have a platform that's just like Instagram or Twitter, but you don't have anything to, to give other than that it's black owned, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing. I might as well just go back to Instagram and Twitter, And when we deal with these particular things concerning having our posters taken down, all those type of stuff, leading down to number 2, you have the same policies being applied to these black-owned businesses or these black-owned platforms. For an example, I decided to go to the extreme because this one particular platform said that it's not like Instagram. Your posters won't be taken down. You can express however you want. That's literally what they said. You can express however you want, post whatever you want, and it won't be taken down, right? And we'll get to the motives in a second. So I went to the extreme. I was like, well, let me post something very sexual or explicit, and that's what I did. And the post got taken down probably within less than 6 hours. And the people that were on the platform was like, come on, man, why you posting this? You ain't supposed to be posting stuff like that, all this type of stuff, right? But here's the thing. If you want diversity, if you actually want success with your particular app, you have to realize that there's going to be more people who are going to be attracted to a particular app, right? Out of either curiosity, or they heard it from another friend, or they saw it advertised on their platform or their social media. You have to understand that when you are attracting an audience of people, despite the race, despite sexuality, despite religion, politics, whatever the case may be, you can't suppress how they express themselves in terms of a platform that they want to create. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about things appropriately, maturely, us as mature adults, things that we can express ourselves and have that particular freedom if you have the platform to say that people can express however they want. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to me, when dealing with that particular concept. So, you're still going to have the same policies and guidelines as Instagram, right? But, it's black owned. Because it's black owned, we should support it. You see? And that's just not genuine. All right? And when it concerns the motives, most of the black people who want to have their own platform they just want a platform or a space where they can talk shit about white people. Okay? And this is not to cap for white people. This is not to defend white people or anything like that. But your motive for creating a platform should not be to talk mess about another race of people. Your motive should not be to have a particular platform where you can express yourself of talking about another specific race or sexuality or whatever the case may be. Your particular motive should be that I'm going to create something for myself, for my people, to which they can invest their time in their place where they can feel like they don't have to, censor certain things, or they can express themselves however they want. I can create a platform where we can be us. Not more so that you can talk mess about another race of people. I've noticed that these particular things come up when it concerns talking about the very issues of anti-black or cultural appropriation, which these particular things I don't even speak on to begin with, because it's going to happen regardless. Alright? It's going to happen regardless, and if you really understand the particular concepts behind cultural appropriation, they're trying to tap into your energy. So what you going to do? They do that even through the police brutality. You're giving them your energy regardless. You're giving them your energy. I can't breathe, and why are you killing us? And you're begging on your knees to stop killing us and stop oppressing us, and we're equal, all this other type of stuff. You're giving them your energy that way too. Alright? So it doesn't matter. But as I was saying, your motive when creating a platform should be that you are going to create a platform in which black people can come together and express themselves, and this should be like a long life, plan for a particular platform. This shouldn't be just something to do temporarily, because most of these platforms are just temporary. You don't see a future with these particular platforms. This is just for the moment. You're in your feelings, and I have to get something off my head, so I'm going to go to this platform. That's what I've been seeing. So I'm just taking this from a critical standpoint, just analyzing these particular concepts when it concerns having a black-owned social media platform. I am not against it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against it, but from the motives that I've been seeing from certain people in most of these platforms, I would not advise anybody to be creating a black-owned platform unless you are going to strategize this particular platform and understand that, even though you want a particular platform where, is advertised for black people by black people, and I'm not against that either, but understand that even when that particular case, you have to understand that other races of people also want to invest in those particular apps as well. So you have to deal with that too. One thing about Instagram is that they are smart. They are smart with advertising, and they are smart with, making particular partnerships with certain people to make more money. You know what I'm saying? So, what you see with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, these are going to be very long-lasting apps, long-lasting businesses, that you can invest your time and your money in, and even invest your businesses in other things outside of the app that you can place within the app. But when you look at these particular black-owned apps, not to, talk mess about them or devalue them, and I'm not going to name any, but when you look at most of these Instagram or most of these black-owned apps that, try to portray themselves as Instagram and Twitter, they're not promising. You see what I'm saying? They're not promising. It's a poor setup. It's a poor, design and stuff like that. It's not something that you can invest your actual time in. Not to talk mess about any particular apps, but some of the setup for the app is very basic. You see what I'm saying? Like it's very basic. Have maybe 3 to 4 different options that you can do on the app. Like it's very basic. So we just have to think bigger when it comes to those particular things. Other than that, like I said before, I'm just totally against us making a particular platform just because of those reasons. There's no diversity. You're going to have the same policies as Instagram, and you're in the wrong motives. You have the wrong motives to create a particular platform. So that's that.
You make it back, you won't pay. I know you're a